Good news, guys, we've reached Paglesham Church End. So there's two little villages in this part of the world, with Paglesham at the beginning. You've got Church End here, which is inland, and then East End, which is a little bit further out on the coast. And at East End there is the remains of the HMS Beagle, which is Charles Darwin's ship that he sailed on his expedition when he wrote The Origin of Species, and it's the remains of it are just dumped out on the river estuary of the Roach, which is quite a shame really, but apparently at the time that's what happened to a lot of boats. I don't know why this is auto-focusing. So yeah, here's the church, St Peter's Church at Church End. We'll be heading down there. I'll go in, have a little quick look around for you in the church. Okay, I've got a little bit to read you about Paglesham. The Roach Valley Way passes through many historic villages, including Paglesham, Church End and Canewdon. In the 19th century, many of the residents of these two villages were employed in either agriculture, the oyster trade or boat building. However, the mosaic of rivers and creeks provided a land and sea pattern ideal for one of the most lucrative occupations, smuggling. This free trade reached its height in the late 18th and early 19th century, when almost the entire local population seems to have been implicated to a greater or lesser extent. The most notorious Paglesham smuggler was William Blythe, aka Hardapple. He was a church warden and grocer in the village, and used pages torn from the parish registers to wrap up butter and bacon. He is renowned not only for his exploits with customs officials, but also for consuming whole kegs of brandy and eating wine glasses. So ahead is the pub at Paglesham Church End, and I can see that it's open. So we're going to be heading into there in a little bit. So this is the Punch Bowl Inn at Paglesham Church End. It's just gone 5 o'clock and got myself an old moot cider, kiwi and lime, £4.25. Okay, so I started here, gone all the way along here, and then we are here, Paglesham Church End at the pub. So I want to get up here along the River Crouch, hopefully camp sort of somewhere along here, and then I've got all of this to do, and then back round to Rochford tomorrow. So quite a trek tomorrow. The oyster has throughout history played an important role in the coastal diet and economy, and no more so than at Paglesham. While in early history oysters would simply be dredged straight from the mudflats or layings of rivers and estuaries, by the 18th century the cultivation of oysters had become an increasingly specialised and large-scale industry. This culminated in the 19th century with the establishment of large companies such as the Roach River Company. The peak of oyster cultivation came in the mid-19th century, at a time when oysters were considered the common food of poor Londoners. During its heyday there were approximately 80 to 100 boats and 160 to 200 people engaged in the industry on the Crouch and Roach estuaries. The industry began to decline at the beginning of the 20th century, and despite many attempts to revive it, it has never really recovered. We're entering Lion Creek Nature Reserve, site of special scientific interest. And yeah, getting closer to the River Crouch now. As you walk along the sea wall from Lion Creek to Lower Raypits Farm, it may seem quite remote and isolated, but you are not alone. The patchwork of salt marsh, sea walls, mudflats and grazing marsh supports an abundance of wildlife, and as a result both the Roach and Crouch estuaries have been designated sites of special scientific interest by English Nature. The estuary provides a valuable feeding ground and roosting area for visiting wildfowl and waders, including the dark-bellied Brent geese, now present in internationally important numbers. Other birds to look out for include black-tailed godwits, shovelers, shelducks, redshanks and dunlin. It is not only birds that make the Crouch and Roach special. The dikes and sea walls support nationally scarce plants such as the beaked tasselweed and sea barley, and more than 50 insects and spiders, which are scarce or rare in Britain, have been recorded. For example, the scarce emerald damselfly and Rose's bush cricket. The grazing marsh and grassy sea walls are home to small mammals, and birds of prey such as hen harriers and short-eared owls can be seen hunting over the grassland in winter. We're now on the River Crouch and its estuary, so over to the right here, or ahead of us, is Wallasey Island, and this is nice. This has got to be a contender for one of the highlights of the walk. I'm sat on this massive sort of log that someone sort of smoothed one side off so you can sit on it as a bench. It makes a really nice viewpoint. Okay, I'm going to try and carry on along here. Come on, what is not to like about this? This is Essex, and this is probably as good as Suffolk, like on the River Deben or the Orwell or the Stour. I mean, shit, it could even beat some of the, some of the major rivers in Norfolk. This is pretty good. I've not seen this section of the River Crouch before. Okay, update on the walk, guys. I think we're going to have to stop here for the night and wild camp. Can't really complain too much, it is nice, but I would have liked to have covered more ground. Reason being we're going to have to stop is, if I just turn you round and zoom in, I don't know if it's going to pick it up, but there's this sign there, right on the edge of the sea wall, and I can see it from here. It says private. I can't see what else it says under that, but I believe past that sign, that land, probably including the footpath, belongs to what I believe is Upper Raypits Farm, which I'll be passing tomorrow. So I'm not risking camping there. I mean, as it is, this is a nature reserve. It sort of reminds us all of Tollsbury Marshes again. So it's better to camp here, I think, than sort of carry on any further and you know, risk, you know, camping on private land. You can see over on the hill in the distance, there again is Canewdon and the church. So we'll be visiting that tomorrow. That'll probably be our first major point of interest. It's going to be one of the highlights of the walk, I think, as well, especially, as I say, with its history and connection to witchcraft. Over here is Bridgemarsh Island. What I'll do is I'll tell you about that tomorrow morning. But for now, I'll just quickly show you where we are on a map as well. So here is the map. So where are we? So yeah, remember we started here at Rochford, went along here, on all along here, Paglesham Church End, stopped at the pub, gone up here, Lion Creek and Lion Wolf Nature Reserve there, and so we're in Lower Rapits National Nature Reserve now. So we're about here at Black Point. Bridgemarsh Island is across the water there. You've got Hawthorne Station over on the other side of the mainland. And yeah, we're heading down to Upper Rapits Farm and then down inland to Canewdon. And then yeah, out there. So yeah, we're here at the moment. Okay, I've set everything up. And the sun's just starting to go down. It looks lovely. Okay guys, well, I'm all set up. Got the Vargo titanium hexagon wood stove going there. And yeah, this is my new Rab Ridge Raider hooked bivvy. It's the newer model, so it's got the guy lines and you put the pole through an external sleeve rather than have the pole inside the bivvy. I feel there's a lot more space in it. Like, I've shoved literally all my sleeping gear, like mats and everything, all fully rolled out right down to the bottom, and it's literally miles inside the thing. So you've got loads of sort of like porch space, if you will. I've got my Carrymore Travel Light summer sleeping bag, the OEX pillow, the little thin yellow Terra Nova full length sleeping pad, and I've got the OEX red self-inflating half pad on top. I've put my thermals on now. I'm just sort of letting sort of the sweaty clothes sort of air out a bit. OEX Valos over there. Just sort of emptied all that out now. Got all the water down here. Got plenty of food for tonight. And yeah, I'm just gonna chill out really and sort of enjoy the evening. Haven't seen anyone yet. I saw one boat go by earlier, that was it. And yeah, it's not too cold out really. I'm sure it'll get a little bit cold later on, and probably first thing in the morning as well it'll be a bit nippy, so the Vargo stove will come in handy there. So all it leaves me to do is crack open this naughty little number. So it's a Copperberg blueberry and lime flavoured one. I've never had one of these before, and I saw it in the petrol station the other day while I was on my way to work, and I thought, I'm getting that. I've never had that before, so yeah, let's crack this bad boy open. Oh, okay, cheers guys. Thank you for watching this far. Oh, that's really nice, that is. Blimey. It's a little bit warm now, but that's to be expected. It's nice and sweet, but not too sickly. A little bit fizzy. I really like that. It tastes kind of more like one of their pear ciders, I think. Even though it's blueberry and lime. It's a strange one, that. They go so well together, them two. I said it before, I had the I think the Bulmer's blueberry and lime, and this one, I think this one definitely tops it. I thought it would do as well, being a Copperberg. God, that's bloody good, that. Do you know what? I've made my mind up on that already. That's a 9 out of 10, that one. That's bloody good. Really, if you ever see one of these, Copperberg with blueberry and lime, seriously get one. If you like fruit ciders anyway, they are so nice. I could easily drink another one of them. Really good. So yeah, Copperberg, blueberry and lime, 9 out of 10. Cheers, guys. I got my little OEX XT-3 gas stove out with me tonight, so I've got it hooked up to sort of a little canister. I tried using this in my garden once when I rain tested the Van Gogh blade tent, and I couldn't get the canister fit on right, but since then I've had a little experiment with it and it works fine. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to try boiling only a small amount of water just for my super noodles, so it's probably 300 ml in there, so not a lot. Let's give it a go. Okay, so I haven't turned it up very high, you can just control the gas there. Let's turn it down, as you can hear. Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, that's a rolling boil. 90 seconds that took. That's amazing. I mean, it's only 300 ml, but still 90 seconds. That's pretty decent. I'm just brewing up about 400 ml of water for a hot chocolate. I've had my pasta and sauce mac and cheese. It's quite tasty, actually. Just finishing this off as well. I've just been sort of lazing around, really. I got in the bivvy at one point, and yeah, I'm gonna get an early night, I think. Okay, I think we're at a boil already. Alright guys, so I'm in the Rab Ridge Raider now again, and I'm gonna get some sleep. As I say, it's really spacious in here. Like, that is me like right up by the mesh door. The camera's leaning against the actual no-seam bug net door, so I'm leaving the storm door open because it's quite warm. So that is like right up against like basically the doorway, yeah. And I'm about 5'9" and a half, 5'10". So if I go all the way down, my feet are now touching the end. I'm all the way down here, so there's like I can just about reach the camera. Well, I can't quite reach the phone with my arm outstretched. So it just goes to show you how much space you've got in here, like to sleep in, and then sort of this big area here in front of you for like storing all your gear. You know, if you had like, I don't know, some like wet clothes or shoes, you know, you can keep them all down here, and you're not sort of on top of them either, which is really good. So straight away, this newer model is so much better. They've designed it for really tall people as well. Not that that's, you know, an issue for me, of course, but I like to have all my gear inside the bivvy. I don't like to kind of stick stuff in a black bag and then tie it up outside and leave it outside. It's just, I don't know, I like having everything inside the bivvy. So with this model you can do that. I know I sort of use a small rucksack, or small compared to most people, like a 35 litre or a 20 litre rucksack, and yeah, no problems fitting that in here. But if you was one of these people that carried like, I don't know, a 45, 50, dare I say even like a 65 litre rucksack, you'd easily fit that in here. You might have to sort of use it as a bit of a pillow, but you could easily fit that in here. So yeah, really good on space, this newer model. Anyways, right, as I say, I'm going to do a full review on it on a separate video, and yeah, I'll try and get that done. Sort of, I've started doing a bit of it, and I'll probably do that sort of after I've done this walk and camp. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to try and get up for about 5:30 tomorrow morning. Well, it is yeah, tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's 11 PM now, so I'm going to get some sleep now, and yeah, and get cracking with the rest of the walk. I've probably got maybe just under half of the walk left to do, so still quite a way. Yeah, anyways, right, I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It's just gone 6 AM and I'm just starting to pack up now. I've just used a little OEX XT-3 gas stove again, just to boil up some water for my coffee and hot chocolate combo. The cows are in the field over there. Sorry, it's auto-focusing a lot. Really misty out today. I don't know what sort of chance we're going to get of seeing a sunrise, but if we do, it will probably be over there across the water of the Crouch. So yeah, word on the new model of the Rab Ridge Raider. It was really good. I had the storm door wide open all night. What you can do is you can use these loops here to tie it back, and you can also do the same with the mesh door if you wanted to. But I just had the mesh door up, and there was still a little bit of condensation in there, which I was quite surprised about, but nothing too bad. I think it might have rained a little bit, like in sort of the early hours. It was just sort of very slight, but yeah, it's, you know, it kept me warm, it kept me dry. Lots and lots of space in there, as I mentioned before, and yeah, it's a decent little shelter, and it's perfect for this sort of area because, you know, you can just throw it down sort of anywhere. It doesn't take up a lot of room. So yeah, it was yeah, definitely worth it. So yeah, today we'll be carrying on along the River Crouch, and then we'll be turning left and heading inland at Upper Rapit's farm, and then we'll be heading over to Canewdon, which I can just about make it out on the hill in the distance. Don't know if I'll be able to really see it from zooming in. No, you can't make it out. But yeah, Canewdon, probably the heaviest populated village in terms of witches, apparently. Whether you believe that stuff or not, it's going to be interesting just to go there, really, and sort of see it for yourself. And I don't know, I've just watched a few things on YouTube about it and thought, oh, it looks quite interesting. So yeah, Canewdon, and then we'll be heading to Ashington, Hawkwell, and yeah, then to Hockley Woods, which is like an ancient forest. Then from there, I believe we'll be sort of almost turning round on ourselves and heading back to Rochford, the end of the walk. So yeah, I've still got quite a few miles to go, and yeah, I want to get an early start, so I'm going to start packing up now, and yeah, hopefully be gone, yeah, before 7 AM or at 7. So anyways, right, yeah, I'm going to pack up and I will speak to you then. Right, I'm all packed up, leave no trace. I've got all my rubbish with me, and it's about 7 AM, so as promised, I'm heading off in that direction. Okay, let's get ready to ramble and let's get ready to walk again.